Welcome to Secure Money Mindset, the ultimate podcast for financial planning tips and strategies. Our episodes are designed to be concise and to the point, lasting no more than 30 minutes. Each episode features seasoned advisors from Secure Planning Group or an outside financial specialist discussing crucial issues and providing actions to consider when addressing your top financial concerns. We value honesty and transparency, meaning we present both the good and the bad news in a clear and concise manner. Our goal is to provide you with reliable insights and practical guidance. Be sure to hit the follow button to stay up to date with our latest episodes. For more information, please visit our website at securepg.net. Let's dive into this week's episode of Secure Money Mindset.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Secure Money Mindset podcast. I'm your host, Mike Lenge, and I'm here with John Simone, the Managing Director and CEO of Secure Planning Group. And we're here today to talk to you guys about creative plan designs within your corporate retirement plans. So with that being said, I'd like to just jump right into it. And John, thanks for joining us today. We'd like to learn more about kind of what you mean by the term creative plan designs when talking about a corporate retirement plan.
Sure. Creative plan designs just basically means that there's not one size that fits all. Depending upon the company's goals and objectives, we can design a retirement plan that's going to be more beneficial to whatever that business owner is trying to accomplish. Some areas could be attracting and retaining, key employees. Other areas could be, maximizing tax deductions for the business owner or the key people. So again, there's a lot of advantages to it, and there's some disadvantages in the sense of complexity. But at the end of the day, it's really important. That's why we want to make sure that you're working with a qualified retirement plan consultant.
Now, when we use the term creative plans and the different design options within the various different versions of a retirement plan, can you maybe give us some examples of what those would look like?
Sure. So, there's the old school defined benefit plans that were there before, and then you have what you call the typical 401k plan. But there are some versions in between that give a lot more creativity to the plan design. There's much larger contributions. There's ways of skewing things to different people inside of the plan. So it goes back to really trying to focus in on what is the business's objectives, their goals, and what are they trying to accomplish, and then we can customize that plan to their needs.
Can you maybe jump into the specifics in terms of the differences between some of the examples, maybe in terms of the specific types of plans themselves?
Sure. So as I said, I'm going to talk about four, kind of different versions of them today. One is, say, a cash balance plan, which is kind of right in between the defined benefit and 401k space. It really kind of caters to the older business owner, to the older key people that are making a little bit more money. In this scenario, it allows that older business person to put away much larger dollar amounts, but it tends to be a little bit more restrictive in a sense of forced contributions. The next, you could say, is new comparability, which is kind of a version that really allows for when there's a disparity between ages in the demographic and incomes in your employee demographic. This is a really creative way through the profit sharing plan that you can test it in this formula that would allow for more contributions to go to the higher earners or the older demographic. Then you have what you call safe harbor provisions. A safe harbor provision really is a great feature because when an employer makes a safe harbor contribution to the plan, 401k plans have what you call discrimination testing. And what that does is basically mean that the owners and highly compensated can't put away more than what the other rank and file people put away. And the benefits to safe harbor is that if there's a employer contribution up to certain safe harbor limits, it allows that business owner not to be tied to all the other people, and allows them to max out their contributions based upon their goals and objectives. And then last would be profit sharing plans. And a profit sharing plan is a very nice feature to be able to, if you're in that phase of trying to attract and retain good employees, being able to have a contribution discretionary when business profits are good or bad, allows that business owner to skew things and put away a little bit more money into the plan for certain people, all of the employees, or just trying to skew it more towards a select group of people.
Perfect. Thank you so much for the insights there. In terms of kind of what qualifies a business to be an appropriate candidate for a different or a specific type of plan, can you maybe speak to kind of what types of businesses meet those different criteria, or if there even needs to be a criteria at all?
Right. Well, I think there's complexity to each of these plans, and there isn't like a one size fits all mentality. So I think the biggest thing there is cash flows of the organization, size of the company, profits of the organization, and overall goals and objectives of what the company is trying to accomplish. Each of those plan options can be a fit, but there is some complexity to them that I think it's important to make sure that you're working with a qualified retirement plan consultant, your financial advisor, because I think that there's a big difference between each of them.
Yeah, and you kind of spoke to it there. Can you maybe allude to some of the challenges or roadblocks that maybe come up, or things that employers or business owners should be aware of when they're going through it?
Sure. So, in some of these plan designs, they're not as simple. So there's some compliance and administrative types of functions that employers may not be accustomed to. In addition to that, there could be some, I would say, contribution requirements that are there that the employers are not used to. So I think it's really important to make sure that you are working with a qualified person that specializes in this space, because there's resources, there's third-party administrators, there's record keepers that can help the employer offload some of that responsibilities off to them. So
awesome. I think that's been a pretty good summary. If you had to summarize kind of the key takeaways, what are a few of those takeaways that you'd leave the listeners with?
Sure. Well, I think there's plan options available to almost every type of an employer. As we talked about it, we'll talk about the 4 different plans really quickly, but when you go through the cash balance plan, it's a great plan that's going to be there for the business owner who either wants a large tax deduction and wants to find a way to be able to save some money in taxes. In addition to that, who wants to try to make up for lost contributions that they didn't do, trying to put all the money in the business and grow the company. Now they're trying to focus in on their personal goals and objectives. When you go to new Compatability, there's a really cool way to be able to skew things to the different demographics there. But again, it's looking at the goals and objectives of the organization. Safe harbor provisions is a great attraction tool. It's a nice benefit for everybody. It doesn't matter if you're a high earner or not. It's a great way to be able to incentivize all employees to put away money so they can become more retirement ready. And then you have the profit sharing feature, which again, if your goal is to attract and retain quality people, it's a great way to be able to put away more money for them, to show that, appreciate the work that they did, as you're going to be sharing some of the profits, but then tie some vesting to that profit sharing plan that will, kind of handcuff those people to the organization a little bit longer. So again, it's really important that you focus in on working with a qualified retirement plan consultant, in addition to your tax professional, to make sure that you guys are doing whatever it takes to achieve your personal goals.
In terms of the resources at Secure Planning Group, do you want to maybe just touch on kind of how you guys work with employers and in terms of the difference that we make here when working with those employers?
I think it's really understand as a consultant, our job is to learn exactly as much as we can about your company's, the business owner, and your company's goals and objectives. I would say maybe 1 or 2 out of 10 financial advisors actually specialize in retirement plan business. So, what I would say too is to make sure that you're asking your advisor questions like, are you a fiduciary? How many plans do you guys manage? What other roles do you provide as making sure that we're implementing an appropriate retirement plan here for the company in addition to the employees? I think that those are some of the things that we do, and as an independent planning firm, there isn't a record keeper that we don't work with, and our focus is to sit at the same side of the table as our clients.
That's great. Was there anything that we didn't touch on that you think is of importance when these employers or key decision makers are going out and shopping these types of solutions?
Right. I just think that it's important to, when we're talking about this type of stuff, it's really important to have the key people, the business owners, or the key people that are involved in making the financial decisions of the firm as part of that meeting, because tends to be some times where, if you don't really understand the plan, you look at the plan as just as an expense to the organization. And when working with the appropriate financial consultant, they're going to help you understand how that plan could also help you achieve your personal retirement plan goals. When you look at it a little bit more like that and see how you can make this plan work for your benefits too, I think it becomes a lot more of an open conversation about what are these options and how can they fit.
Perfect. Well, I appreciate you taking the time today to kind of educate our listeners on what we mean by creative plan designs when building out a corporate retirement plan. Feel free to reach out with any questions in the comments, and we hope you enjoyed the content here and hope to see you on the next time.